John Heilman is managing editor of Bloomberg Politics and co-host of The Circus. It returns to Showtime, a division of CBS, this Sunday. John, good morning.
Good morning. It's awesome to see all three of you back here at the same table together.
It makes
me so happy. It feels like school's back in session.
It is.
You're looking rather snappy yourself.
Thank you, sir. I take all my cues from you.
The Colin Powell disclosures, do they have an impact on the Clinton campaign or this presidential election?
I think probably not in the long run, but I do think there are a lot of people in Brooklyn who have been insisting for a a long time
that
where headquarters are. I feel as though they get some indication from this email because, of course, she's insisted that she followed Powell's lead. Powell seemed to suggest in various conversations that they were hanging him out to dry. This email is pretty striking in the sense that it was delivered. Their exchange took place the day after she became Secretary of State. So it at least gives some credence to the notion that she was following Powell in her mind.
But he also said be very careful.
Yes, I mean, and it does not vindicate, if you think she was sloppy about handling classified material, which I think a lot of people do, by setting up this home server, she went way farther than Powell did. She still did an unprecedented thing, but she at least can point to that and say, I didn't make up this Colin Powell thing.
Mm-hmm. Nancy made a good point, too, though, I thought, in the end, when she said, look, technology was different then compared to what it is now. But
it was different, although, again, all the things that Colin Powell did, he did not go and set up a server in his home, which I think raises a lot of questions, which we've talked about on this show and others forever.
I keep hoping that this campaign is going to be more about Hillary Clinton's emails and more than about what Donald Trump's position on immigration is from day to day. And
more than those two things.
Yes. I mean, let's have a discussion about education policy in this country. Let's have a discussion about economic policy. They tried to have a discussion about national security last night. Did that happen? Did we have a good contrast in the two candidates?
It's interesting, the email issue is a legitimate issue. It took up an awful lot of her time as she was defensive. It was brought up by one of the people, one of the audience members, so you can't avoid that. The veteran who brought up that issue and challenged her, put her on the defensive. You can't get around that issue, but it took up a lot.
Not in that forum last night, but yesterday Donald Trump said he would end these automatic sequestration cuts to the defense budget. That's a big deal.
That's a very big deal, and you could, again, we could and should spend a lot more time on that. It's interesting because she answers, and because she answers in full and she answers in a more lawyerly way. Not only did you have that email topic take up a lot of the discussion, but they didn't get to cover much ground with her. Trump, you covered a lot of ground, but it's mainly because he does not have all that much to say on a lot of these issues. So his answers are very, very tight, and some of them, many of them, were problematic in a variety of ways. He continues to insist that he was against the Iraq War from the beginning, and there's ample evidence that he was for the Iraq War when it started.
I think we need to
keep saying that over and over again because he is lying about it repeatedly.
Yeah. And you're saying he should be called on that.
I think, well, yes, of course, I think all politicians should be called when they lie. The other things, he praised Vladimir Putin. He talked about how American generals had been reduced to rubble. He said some things that were highly controversial. Both sides are going to come away from this with more ammunition to attack each other. And I can't imagine that a lot of Americans are like, oh, great, more attacks.
And as Gail said, a preview of the debate.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
John Heilman, thank you so much.